I appreciate y'all for bearing with it.
I liked it.
You did?
I loved it.
I know people have a lot going on, so I try to remind people, you know. This idea has been something that has been, well, actively 2 years in the making, just this. Everything you all saw tonight is 2 years in the making, but it feels like the culmination of really my whole life and just some of my interests in art and intersections with community and music and discussion and how that all ties together. So I thought, it'd be really great to end today with a discussion. And I thought, who better to do it than the immaculate symposium.
I'm very nervous.
So I know Sim from, I don't even remember when I first met you. It may have been Birmingham Museum of Art, but she's a journalist, writer, artist, creative. Look at this fit she's got on. I mean, you can feel the creativity and energy coming off her. And I just asked her when she said she was coming, I was like, hey, do you want to interview me? And she said yes. And then for the past few days, I was like, hey, remember you said yes?
I said, yeah, I remember I said, yeah. Is it too late to renege? No, I'm joking.
She said it without saying that, but I know, I feel you. She was like, I'm gonna do it, yeah, like, just to give y'all context on this theme is Wildcard PC meaning through chaos. So the image that was revealed at the end, I don't know if you all could see the face in the chaos. And it was kind of, I think, me realizing and grappling through everything going on in the world and just the chaos. And like, how do you literally find peace through these pieces and peace meaning? So that was the inspiration behind it. So I appreciate you all again for going on this journey because it takes all of us to complete this artwork. And I think that's ultimately where art is, but what art should be. And yeah, I guess I don't want to just say any questions, but also too, if you all have questions, let's make this really interactive and fun. It's real intimate. This is like, we can all walk up and talk to each other and all know each other well enough. We got name tags on, so nobody should forget anyone's name. So let's just have a discussion. If there's questions too, like feel free to just stand up and blurt them out. Sim, if you got questions too, feel free to go away.
Okay, well, since this is technically my job, I guess I'll start with the question that I had for myself. You kind of talked about how this took over about 2 years, but what was the thought process behind this? What was the first initial thought that made me be like, I want to create something like this?
I really didn't even know when I started. It really started through music because I hadn't made, in 2024 I started making the songs, and it was really just me wanting to push myself to make music again because I was like, well, I kind of stopped making music. I started getting into, like just the job life, and I hated that, so I was trying to prove to myself that I could still create. And then it started with the songs, and I said every month I want to push myself to make a song about something that might be uncomfortable. And that was kind of where it began. The first song, New Beginnings, was just an organic song. Like it was just a song I made, and I was like, okay, this is kind of where I'm mentally at right now. I feel like I'm starting fresh. And then every month I just was like, it was like a challenge to kind of push myself creatively and teach myself like that you can take on topics that may not have seemingly anything to do with you, and like use art as a way to like reflect what's going on in the world. And then the paintings kind of came, I think, after I was just kind of thinking, like a light bulb went off, like, well, these kind of tell a story, and I don't think of myself just as music. Like I always see both when I'm creating. Like I always see it's like the visuals, and then I'm like, well, there's clothing designs that should go with this idea. So there was naturally like visuals that came to mind that I wanted to.
And then, okay, so I follow you on social media. the shocking thing for me was, I would ask somebody, we would actually have we have similar answers. But talk about the curating of these questions. What was that about? Like, how did you come up with those? Was it just you or was it somebody else?
Well, Shay's always like a sounding board in a way. A lot of it was questions and things, like going back and writing the songs, and those were where a lot of the questions may have began, and then kind of digging deeper on that. So like, for example, World of Waste is about pollution. And I remember like making that song, I was like, how the hell am I gonna make a song sound cool about pollution? And then I was doing all this research about like how destructive human beings are to the environment, and like how we're literally on a major extinction right now because of human beings. And there's pretty much a point of no return. And then we kind of live in a world today too where it's controversial to talk about global warming, or it's controversial to talk about it's politicized. So like a lot of the questions were like coming from the idea that a lot of these themes are politically, like, well, some of them have become political, but also like the idea that a lot of these themes touch everyone in different ways, and how do we get to like just raw truth and in discussion. And I always think like the whole purpose of Wildcard, Vibes and Virtues, everything is about showing that we have more in common than different. So that's the purpose of the discussion. Like get a hard question, discuss with a stranger. Now what do you have to be nervous about? Like now you can humanize with this person and relate to this person in a way that you didn't before walking in the door.
Anybody feel like they got a hard question that was kind of tough to answer? Just raise your hand. You ain't got to say no.
What was the question, Alexis?
It was like, what are some good things that's going on in the country or something to that nature? Something I was proud of, and it's not.
Yeah.
It was one asked to me about like, I can't remember the exact word, but it was about like patriotism, and it's similar to what she said. It's like really hard for me to think about. I know what patriotism, the messaging that we get from it, but I don't know what that looks like for me in this space.
Yeah, the Patriot theme was probably one of, it was definitely really interesting to me because I realized in going through that, because I was asking people, are you proud to be an American? Are you proud to be an American? Everyone I asked said no. It didn't matter what side of the, like if they were Republican or Democrat, white, black, and I really started to think, is that okay that we live in a country, like a country where you're born at, where you live at, where it's all you know? What happens when you have a society and a culture that is just not happy about their country and doesn't love anything about it? I mean, history shows like I don't think that's a good thing. So those are the reasons for some of those questions. Because I agree, like there's not much to really be thankful about in this country, but like asking those questions, like the people in this room tonight, or the people in this room today, like this community here and that kind of thing, like we're all, in America and Americans, whether it be by travel or however we got here. So I think it's important that we think about that, so. Any other questions that was hard?
The educational piece for class act. It just asks about the current benefits and I feel that they benefit off of people when they find out that they're on the spectrum or they're special needs or their learning is off, they try to benefit off of them.
Being like through funding, they try to get people.
Yeah. And it's not being used accordingly.
To be a worker. When you have AI and Google, where you can Google any answer you need right now, but it's not teaching people how to think critically and decipher information. Like you can get on Facebook right now and see a picture that looks real and then find out it's AI. And kids are growing up with this like normalization now, so.
Yeah. One of the questions that I received was like, what's something that you think that we use every day? Something along the lines of that, but it's very harmful. And of course, the first answer in my mind was AI.
Yeah.
Alexa's birthday was like AI. Anybody else?
AI. I agree.
Robot.
AI.
The robot.
It's a bit different.
I would say that AI in general is not being regulated, but I will say I've been trying to give it an honest, open-mindedness, understanding that there are tools within AI that I can see why we have it at this moment in time. Because if you think about the internet expanding and expanding and expanding, there's no way any of us could ever access the information that's on the internet without some kind of search tool or assistant. So my question is, because a lot of the students that I have don't like AI, and that's overall a good thing to be skeptical about, but what does it mean to maybe have a more ethical use of AI? There was never an instruction manual for the internet. There's not an instruction manual for AI, but I keep staying kind of curious, what are the AI tools that could benefit communities and groups in regards to the amount of sheer information and data that you have to process without something that could process it. Does that make sense? Like, you could use it for like deep research in a way, if it's used in a way, depending on which one. That's the thing, there's so many competitors, it's like a wild west of AIs. I wonder, I don't know. I know you've used AI, for example, and I feel like you use it pretty effectively with your storytelling, but like you were saying,
Yeah.
you need to be having critical thinking
Yeah.
and the vision to use the AI in a way that feels healthy.
Yeah, I wonder too how much of it is about knowing, because I think we're taught, especially in the education system, to retain information and to find and like remember and memorize answers to questions. But now with AI, Google, and I mean AI, basically, you can find answers to any questions you want. So maybe the solution is in how do you ask the right question. Like, I try to tell my son, he's 9 years old, I'm like, you know, because he's a lot more, he can pick up on AI a lot better than I can. And he's always like, Dad, that's AI. Like, he'll show me a video on YouTube or something, or I'll see a video and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. He's like, that's AI, Dad. I'm like, you know, I can't, he's a lot more sensitive to it, but I think with that generation, I hope at least that there's a movement at some point where they get fed up with being born into the digital age where they want to transition to analog. Because I think with the millennial generation, we were born analog and then the internet came. Like, I still remember dial-up connections, you know, and one, like someone's on the internet, you can't make a phone call, you know. And then now when we're here, we look at these tools as, wow, they're so cool. We're like living in the future and like, you know. But growing up where this is the norm, I wonder if there will be a push to where they just wake up one day and say, hey, let's just break our phones. You know, like why do we want this? I hope at least, because it's kind of scary. I think it's helpful, like to your point, like if somebody is using AI if they're using it for like research for, like I've seen things where they're using it to like figure out protein synthesis for cancer research and things like that, which I think is amazing. But then you have people who may use AI to, you know, make a meme or AI, how do I?
Brush the list,
Yeah.
be a counselor. I've heard some pretty wild things.
Well, I've heard people using it too for like mental health help, and I think that's, you know, I don't know if that's good.
It's not. I'm a social worker in the therapy. It's not. It's actually extremely harmful. It increases the likelihood of psychosis, of experiencing like psychotic breaks, hallucinations, delusions. So it's actually extremely dangerous for you to be using AI as a therapist.
But what are some specific reasons why?
What are some specific reasons why?
Does it like reaffirm if someone's having
Yes,
psychotic?
it can reinforce delusions, it can reinforce hallucinations, and even like, create like more grandeur, you know, if someone is like experiencing like those grandiose delusions, the extra like support and say, yeah, you are amazing, you are amazing, you are the smartest person.
Yeah.
And we kind of like support and feed them.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
I think wasn't there a case where AI told someone to
Do that, yeah, a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And he did kill me back using AI.
I have a problem with, it is a tool and it's so much bigger than we could ever know, but it's almost like cars as a system that you don't have to partake in driving a car, but it's inconvenient for a lot of us. And I feel like AI is that, it's imposed on me and I don't really have a choice. And what it's doing with the water, you know, what it takes to power these centers, and that makes me hesitant to use it. And I get the tool, I get so many benefits already, but it's so complicated, and I don't like that part of it, that I am forced to use it whether I want to or not, and I'm caught there a lot of the time.
Oh, you made me think. I was on Facebook the other day, and a friend of mine made a post where they were like, I'm done using AI, and all companies that support AI, I'm not supporting them. And there was like a debate in the comments where somebody was like, you do realize that pretty much every company is using AI in some kind of way.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Cool job, they use AI for your resume now.
I mean, even at my job, I work for a nonprofit. We use AI. We have a company ChatGPT account.
Wow, really?
Like, yeah, we have like a company like AI account, and we use it all the time. Like, I get emails sometimes like, okay. You know, yeah, I'm like, oh, you don't use those words. So, but I also do think like people are going to be more interested in what humans actually create. Like, I have a friend of mine who makes music, and he was telling me, because his music seems almost chaotic in some ways, and he's like, yeah, I like to keep flaws in it and mistakes and stuff to show it's like human.
Yes.
You know, and so I wonder if like people are going to gravitate like this. When I was talking about my son and his generation, as they grow up, they'll probably, hopefully, gravitate towards like real human creative things. Because I love when I get emails now that have like typos.
I hear people
And
say
so-
that too.
Yeah.
And somebody, I feel like, so I was born in '98, so I feel like I'm in that middle generation of like, we can't, like technology, you know, we saw the transition, but we kind of grew up with the technology. And so like for me personally, I'm really big into just collecting my physical media, having my physical media, whether it's magazines, books, CDs, DVDs, I'm all about that. And my little sister, she's just a little bit younger than me, she's about 6.5 years apart. And so like with her generation, you know, they're kind of into the things that like we were into, like that analog era, as you call it. So I think there's like a give and take. Like you have people who kind of, you know, use AI and lean into it, but then there's also the people who are rebelling. It's like, hey, let's use our physical media. Let's go get some books. Let's go to the library. So that's a give and take. But I'm with you. I pray that there's like some kind of research where everybody just break their phone, throw the trash, turn it off, turn the TV off. That's what Kendra said.
Yeah. I've like recently been trying to do like a it's hard though, like a media fast, and I still habitually will notice, like I'm in the bathroom, so you know, I get some of my best thinking happens on the toilet, TMI, but you know, and I'll just be like, oh, Instagram, and then now that I'm aware, I have to stop. I'm like, what are you doing? You ain't supposed to be there. But I'm like hooked, and the first thing you see is like a video of a kid in Palestine, or you know, you see it's like the worst thing that you can't help but to like dwell on, and you're just sitting there and like, wow, just because I opened this app, now I'm forced with this trauma, like I can't overlook what I just saw. You know, and it's like the algorithm puts things in front of you that's gonna keep you scrolling and gonna keep you looking at the app, regardless of how dehumanizing, how bad it is. So.
I'm a dumper to AI.
Okay, Okay, I want to transition just a little bit back to when I was virtual
Yeah.
for a second. With events like this, do you see more in the future?
Oh yeah, yeah. So you all will get an auto text message tomorrow. There'll be another event in March. She Reigns, that theme. So at Gallery Vox, so actually like a gallery style setting. And then in April, I'm planning one at Lawson State Community College, and that's going to be World of Waste. So I'm trying to work with some student organizations that work in like environmentalism, that kind of thing. But the hope is to like continue to do this, and I really tried as much as possible to make this mobile. The issue with like Gallery Vox and trying to do it in the gallery is like I really am having to think through how do you hang this and like without having to be dependent on. I mean, there's just a lot of logistics going into doing something like this that are easy to overlook. So yeah, the plan is to like keep doing this, touring it. I would love to expand to different cities, all kind of venues, from like whether it be like a church or whether it be like an elementary school. Like I love the idea of like customizing the experience to fit whatever audience is, there. So
I think a lot of us are looking forward to war. So if you want to like throw some things in there, have a little theme night, maybe a little 70s, a little 80s night, asking questions, pin them on the board, put our puzzle together. Is it going to be a different piece every time, or essentially will we be creating the same thing?
So this one, because it takes a while to create those puzzles. So this will probably be the same puzzle for like the next 2 years. So, but I'll have to figure out ways to like continue to spice up the experience. Like one thing I figured out tonight is when all the cards are gone and people that come, how can they continue to engage? Like that's something I figure out. And also too, I would love feedback from y'all. Like what are some holes or things that may have come up. Maybe I'll send out a survey in one of mine.
You can text messages.
So, but I'll lay off the text messages. Like I said, you get that auto text message tomorrow, just to say, hey, there's also this one in March. But I'll try to chill, y'all. Shay reminds me, she's like, chill.
Did anybody want to ask Carrie any questions about maybe the songs, how many there are, how you create those, or do y'all have any questions about the game?
I just have a question for Carrie. How do you find peace in a chaotic world?
Well, definitely, I'm really like a lot more into like my faith now, more than I ever was. So I think submitting to a higher power has helped me a lot. And it's forced me to like also, it's just relieving to know they don't all have to be on you. And like there's an order to this chaos that you can't explain and you never will be able to explain. And it's okay to say, I don't know. It's all God. It's God's plan. So that has definitely like helped me a lot. And then also just realizing I'm only in control of like what I can control. So like I'm only in control of like my inner circle, my close friend. Like not even that. Like I'm I'm only in control of how I choose to react to things I see. And even since like I was telling y'all, I'm trying to like chill on the like being on social media. Like I'm trying to, if I have to make a post it and then get off. I haven't been as tuned in to politics. Like I didn't watch the State of the Union, even though I was like, oh, I kind of want to see it to be mad. And I was like, I realized like I only wanted to watch it because it's like, why am I gonna let myself watch something that's you're gonna be disappointed about, so why even engage? And being selective with that, I think has been, Cause like the world is not as bad when like stuff like this is cool, it's fun. It's like knowing you have people that care, but it's easy to get distracted and like turn on the TV. Like I heard about what happened in Iran. Now there's it's like it's easy to see things like that and be like, damn, this world sucks. Like there's nothing I can do. But then you have like you see a baby like smiling, and you're like, oh, well, that doesn't suck, you know? So I think just like not getting caught up in the chaos and just realizing there's peace, but it's inside of you, but also you have to, that's where the higher power I think comes in, because you have to like submit to that. Like you have to submit that there's something bigger than you at play, and then it's all up to God to fix.
Well, I don't want to drag this out, y'all. I will say, though, Carrie, thank you for this event. It was and I know we talked about Bible virtue. I know we talked about it in passing, because like Carrie said, our first initial meeting came about through the art museum. But so this was like my first time to actually experience vibes of virtue, to see like to play along and do something. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. So like this year, the way like this is really a process. The Wildcard is a process. So odd years are where it's like the puzzle paintings, and then even years are the establishment of the themes. So these are like really helpful for me because the themes evolve based on these discussions and stuff. So like, for example, we're in February now. Roots of Love was February 2024. It's Fruits of Love, because it's like the fruits that grow from the roots and like what that means and like how that's connected to like Black history and but then, so expect to see like there's always, these discussions are extremely, or they're like necessary for me to also like think through like, all right, what should be next? And I think like I'll probably take break years in between. For one, it's a lot, but also too like just to kind of like, I don't know, just chill, and the world's gonna shift and change, and you know, so just allowing space for that. So I'm so appreciative. Well, I'm really appreciative for you saying yes to doing this interview. And then I'm so appreciative of you all for like being here and like being willing to test this concept, dealing with the spam, dealing with the constant like, hey, you coming? You're coming? Because I really like had to see what this would be like. Because it's been up here and it's driving me crazy. So like this feels really relieving to like see it out in the open, and then like just see how people engage with it. So.
All right, before we wrap this up.
So the fruits of love come from when we get the cherry tree.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I was kind of thinking, some of that, yeah. Yeah. So Fruits of Love. I did a song to it. It's out now, and I was really just thinking about, because Roots of Love was like, I was saying about. I just think it's interesting that Black History Month is the same month as February, which is the month of love. And I don't believe in coincidences, so I feel like there's some kind of like divine message in that. So like Fruits of Love is thinking about that and like the love of the ancestors and forefathers and what, like that love and what it's produced. You know, like when I think about like my grandma and stories I've heard from her and things she's gone through and all that, it just makes me thankful. And I think it happens for a lot of us. A lot of us, you know, all people, definitely Black people, like not forgetting that history and the fruits of that, because like I think everyone has a responsibility to honor that. So, and I will say rest in peace to Miss Joanne Bland.
Yeah.
You know, she is greatly missed. If you all do not know the story of Miss Joanne Bland, please look it up. She was like a grandmother to me in so many ways, and she was also the founder of the organization that I work for in my daytime. But you know, we're losing people. We're losing history out here. We're losing people fast. So I think like it's important to like keep stories alive, because we're in a world right now where they're like literally trying to stop history. They're literally trying to stop things from being told, things from being shared, and banning books and all that. So like the less we talk, the more they win. So like they would hate something like this right now. So like I just hope like everyone gains from this at least the like idea to think, you know, that one family member who's a MAGA Trump supporter, I'm going to like, instead of ignoring them, I'm gonna actually like try to engage them through love and realize we're probably never agree on anything, but at the end of the day, like, there's some common thread that we can, like, you know, maybe I can, like, persuade them in this way, or maybe I can, like, share with them this perspective or light, and, you know, with grace. So I just think we need more discussions, more conversations.